Hi, I'm Yvonne from Pree Designs. This card is made using some new products in our holiday catalogue. I've had quite a few requests from demonstrators to show how it's done, so here's a short video just to show you. I've called it a triple layer Edgelit card. That's the inside. So you've got 3 different layers to make up the card. I'll be using the Hearts Come Home stamp set and the coordinating thinlits, and I'll just be using the 3 house edgelets or house sets edgelets. The pieces of cardstock that you'll need a card base, and in Australia we use A4, so it's simply an A4 length of cardstock cut at 10.5 centimetres. That's your card base. And then you'll need the front panel, which is 14.8 by 10.5. Then you'll need a back panel, which is 15.5 by 10.5, and you're going to score it here at 14.6 centimetres, and that's going to fold over. The final piece you'll need is a piece of shimmery white, and I've got that cut at 14.3 by 10 centimetres. The first thing that you're going to do is stamp up the inside of the card, and you're simply going to use Night of Navy, which complements the Night of Navy cardstock. I'm using the word set within the stamp set, stamping it quite low, and then you're going to run it through your through your Big Shot using the softly falling embossing folder. And you want to make sure that you've got most of the snow falling up the top, so then that you can actually write in your card. So you've got space to write in your card. There's one I've prepared earlier just to show you what it looks like when it's complete. Okay, the first thing that we're going to do is actually emboss the front of the card. So just the Joy to the World, and that stamp is in the same stamp sets, How Hearts Come Home. You're going to use your embossing buddy so that you take off any fingerprints and any static. Use your Versamark ink. Stamp it nice and low to the bottom. Hold it for a few secs. And then I just pop a piece of paper under my work so I can catch the excess embossing powder. That's great. And then you're going to run it through and heat it with your heat tool. So I won't do that right now, but that's what you need to do. Just pop that aside. And then the first thing that you're going to do is actually run through the different houses with your Big Shot using the precision plate, because you want to get all of these little intricate pieces cut out beautifully. The first panel, I've basically and just approximately put it to the right hand side of the cardstock and about 4 centimetres up the side, and just going down with the hill on a slight incline. So you're going to run that through your Big Shot. And again, here's one I prepared earlier. And then taking your scissors or your paper snips, you're just going to trim off the side here, just up to the where the edgelet finishes off. And then that should pop off easily. I just need to trim off that end there. And then that is your first panel, or your front panel. Put that to the side. Then you're going to take your card base, open it out, and we're going to use the edgelet with the church in it. You want to make sure that the very cross of the church isn't going to come off your card. So I've placed that at the hinge side or the fold side, and I've placed that about 4.5 centimetres up from the base of the card. And again, you're going to take that away and run that through your Big Shot, and then use your die brush to get all the little pieces out. And then here again is one I've prepared earlier. And like the last one, you're going to trim off the hill. I'm just sort of going up from the side in the same type of angle. Just trim off that little bit. And then you're going to trim off right on that score line or on that fold line, down to where the edgelet finishes. Okay, and that then is your center panel. That matches beautifully there. And then the third piece is this little piece, going into the background of the card, as if it's in the background. And you're going to layer that on the right hand side, right up against the fold or the score line on the right hand side. And I've put that approximately 5.5 centimeters up the card. And this time I've got the hill running up. Okay, so again, you're going to take that away, run that through your embossing folder, not your embossing folder, run that through your Big Shot, use your die brush to get all the little pieces out. And you'll end up with a piece like this. And again, using your paper snips, you're going to trim along that fold line down to where the edgelet finishes. And trim from this side across to where the edgelet finishes, pull the excess away, and then that is your background done. So you've got your background, your foreground, and the centerpiece. And then, as I showed you earlier, this is the inside of our card. Now we're just going to put the card together. So we're actually going to paste this piece. The little hinge could actually go behind or in front of the card. Just using a little bit of liquid adhesive glue. The Tombow works beautifully because then you've got time to move. I'm just going to grab another bottle because that one doesn't want to come out. And just place that right on the very edge of your card. Using the Tombow is great because you've got a few moments to move before it sticks hard and fast. Okay, so that's there. I'm just going to burnish it with my bone scorer so that I've got a really nice, it's nicely adhered. And then the panel in the center, again, I'm going to use multi-purpose glue to stick that piece down. And I've made it so you've got a little mat around the edge. And then the back piece folds in. The center panel folds in. Then I'm going to use just a couple of little glue dots, and that's going to hold in place there. Probably need to trim off that just a tiny bit. So a couple of glue dots on the edge there, and then that's just going to adhere to that side there, and that is your card. So bring in the first one that I had so that this piece is actually free to sit out, and that's how it will sit. Thank you for tuning in. Hope you enjoyed this particular card. It can be done with lots of the different edgelets. The first one I did like this was with the Santa sleigh edgelets. It was really cute, and you've got the 3D effect.